Two pots. Same money going in, but 20 years from now, one of them could hand you thousands of pounds more than the other, and most people pick the wrong one for completely the wrong reasons. This is the ISA versus pension question, and in 2026, the answer changed, because the rules changed. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which pot to fill first, in plain English, in under 10 minutes. Let's get into it. Here's the whole thing in one sentence, and then we'll unpack it. A pension gives you the tax break going in. An ISA gives you the tax break coming out. That's it. That's the core trade. With a pension, the government tops up your contributions now, but you pay income tax when you draw it later. With an ISA, you pay in from money you've already been taxed on, but every penny that comes out is completely tax-free, forever. So the real question isn't which is better. It's when do you want your tax break, now or later? And the honest answer for most people is you want both in a specific order. Stick with me because that order is where the money is. Let's start with the pension because the maths here is genuinely hard to beat. When you put money into a pension, you get tax relief at your marginal rate. For a basic rate taxpayer, every $80 you put in becomes $100 inside the pension. That's an instant 25% uplift before anything's even invested. For a higher rate taxpayer, it's even stronger. There's no other legal product in the UK that gives you that kind of guaranteed day one return. Then it grows tax-free inside the wrapper. The catch, and there's always a catch, is access. You can't touch a pension until you're 55 today, rising to 57 from 2028. So this is locked money. Retirement money, if you might need it at 40, a pension can't help you. And there's a 2027 change you need to know about, which we'll come to, because it's the single biggest reason the old just max your pension advice doesn't fully hold anymore. Now the ISA, you can put in up to $20,000 a year, and while you don't get a tax break going in, you get three things the pension can't match. 1. Total flexibility. You can take your money out anytime, at any age, for any reason. No penalties, no waiting until 57. 2. Tax-free withdrawals. When you take it out, whether that's next year or in retirement, there's no income tax, no capital gains tax, nothing. 3, and this is underrated, simplicity at the end. No drawdown rules, no tax-free lump sum calculations. It's just your money. The trade-off is that you're giving up that juicy upfront relief. So pound for pound, in a pure tax efficiency race, the pension usually wins for retirement money. The ISA wins for everything else. The house deposit, the career break, the I might need this before I'm 57 money. Here's why this video exists, and why advice from even 2 years ago is now out of date. For decades, pensions had a quiet superpower. They sat outside your estate for inheritance tax. You could pass an unused pension to your kids, largely IHT-free. That made the pension not just a retirement tool, but an estate planning one. From April 2027, that changes. Unused pension pots are being brought inside the estate for inheritance tax. For people with larger pots and an eye on what they leave behind, that genuinely shifts the calculation, and it's pushed a lot of savers to rethink how much they funnel into a pension versus an ISA. It doesn't make the pension bad, the upfront relief is still excellent. But it removes one of the reasons people overstuffed pensions, and it makes the ISA's clean, tax-free, already settled nature look more attractive for the money you want to pass on. On screen, rules change at fiscal events. Check gov.uk for current figures. So here's the practical playbook most sensible UK savers land on. Not advice, a framework. Adjust to your own situation, and if it's serious money, pay an advisor. Step 1. If your employer matches pension contributions, get the full match first. That's free money, an instant 100% return. Nothing beats it. Always step 1. Step 2. Build an accessible cushion in an ISA. Before you lock anything away until 57, you want money you can actually reach. Emergencies, opportunities, a house. A cash or stocks and shares ISA does that job. Step 3. Now weigh relief versus flexibility for the rest. Higher rate taxpayer chasing retirement? The pension's upfront relief is hard to argue with. Want flexibility or thinking about what you leave behind after the 2027 change? Lean more ISA. The point is, it was never either or. It's employer match, then ISA cushion, then optimize the rest. And that order barely changes no matter who you are. Quick recap: pension for the upfront tax break and employer match. ISA for flexibility and tax-free, already settled money. And after April 2027, the ISA's role in passing money on gets more interesting. If this made the ISA versus pension thing finally click, the single best way to support the channel is to subscribe. I break down one UK money rule like this every week, in plain English. And if you want the one-page version of that 3-step playbook, it's linked in the